Good Shabbos. I have a bad habit, and my bad habit is that I hire other people to parent better than I parent. Let me explain. So I tell the babysitter, my daughter's got to eat healthy, and I give her vegetables, and I give her cucumbers and tofu, and I say she only eats healthy food. But when I'm giving her dinner, I take her out for French fries. Or I tell the babysitter she can't watch any TV, she can't see any screens, but when I'm there, I start off strong, and at some point, I say, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't seen Mary Poppins in a while. See, because if I'm too lazy to do something fun with my kid, I might as well show her somebody like Mary Poppins who knows how to have fun with kids. There's a word for this. It's called moral outsourcing. We outsource our morals to somebody else. And we all do it. Literacy is really important to me, but hiring somebody to read to my kids is not the same as reading to them myself. Or how about this one? Democracy is important to me, but I don't make it a priority to vote. And it doesn't mean that we don't have values. When someone asks me to state my values, I feel very clear about it. I know what they are, but sometimes our values and our behaviors, they don't match up. We do this in Judaism too. We say that being Jewish is important to us, so what do? Send the kids to Sunday school. They'll teach them at shul how to be Jewish. But how often do they see their parents do something Jewish willingly? If they see us come to shul out of guilt, what does that make them feel about being Jewish for themselves? And the Haftorah today says, the guilt of Judah is engraved in iron, while their children remember only their idol worship. In other words, it doesn't matter what rules we set in stone. What your children remember is not what you engrave in wrought iron. What they remember is how you behave. And as kids, we learn that very quickly. The things that truly matter to our parents are not the things they talk about doing. It's the things that they actually do. My entire childhood, my parents were talking about cleaning and clutter. We really need to throw out those copies of the Sporting News from 1987, right? Guess what never got thrown out? The more we talked about it, the less it seemed like a priority. But I saw the things my parents really cared about were the things they did without discussion and without fanfare. When their parents died, my mom and dad went to the daily minyan to say Kaddish every day for 11 months. It was a priority. They did it. They didn't talk about it. They did it, and I noticed. And then when it was my time, that's what I did too. Sometimes we want our kids to be task rabbits. We tell them what we want, and they run with it. But ultimately, the younger generation becomes a mirror. They reflect what we are and what we do. Sometimes the things we never even noticed in ourselves or things we're not proud of in ourselves. And Judaism teaches us that we know what we really stand for, not by the values we state, but by the values we practice. When we say the Shema, it instructs us to put the words on our doorposts, on our heads, and on our arms. That's why we have mezuzahs and we have tefillin that we wear, all that carry the scrolls of the Shema inside. Because what makes a Jew is not what's in our head. It's how we translate those beliefs into the work of our hands and the spaces that we walk into. That's the head, the arm, and the mezuzah. Because we know that our morals are too important to outsource to other people. We have to live them when we lie down, when we get up, when we read with our kids, when we choose to go to shul, when we vote, and when we advocate. Shabbat shalom.